Hello students. Yesterday we have seen about the implantation. Now today's topic is pregnancy and embryonic development. So yesterday we saw that how the blastocyst get implanted at the uterus side. Now pregnancy is the condition of having a developing embryo or fetus inside the womb of the mother, where inside the womb of the mother, and womb, that is also called as uterus. So what occur after implantation? The surface cells of trophoblast it secretes some lytic enzyme. What it secretes? It secretes some lytic enzyme, and which causes corrosion of endometrial lining. And they also give rise some outgrowth like a structure, and that is called as chorionic villi. As the name indicate, villi, it it must be some finger like projections, and this chorionic villi and uterine tissue, it become interdigitated. Interdigitated means they are so close together, like when we just just lock our finger to each other. If two hands finger we just lock to each other, it is just like this connection seen. So chorionic and uterine tissue, it get interdigitated means एक दूसरे में फंसा हुआ, एक दूसरे में धसा हुआ. So villi, obviously it has some hair like projections, so it help in fixation and also absorption of nutrients. Absorption of nutrients. This uterine tissue undergo also nutrient enrichment, enlargement of cells, and formation of uterine part of placenta. So what is the function of uterine? That undergoes nutrient enrichment plus enlargement of cells, because once it get implanted, it will enlargement of cells, and then this also help in formation of placenta. So this is the work of uterine tissue. And trophoblast, I think you remember the trophoblast and inner cell mass. Trophoblast is covering secretes some hormone called as hcg. This is also called as human chorionic gonadotropins. Human chorionic gonadotropins, that is called as hcg, and this hormone can be detected in the urine of a pregnant woman. There is a strip-like structure which we call them as a use as pregnancy test. There is a test and control, and when we drop some urine droplet, when the result is positive, there will be two pink line, and when their result or pregnancy is negative, there will be only one pink line will show. So this can be detected, this hcg can be detected here in pregnant women. So what is the function of hcg? It maintains corpus luteum, as you have seen yesterday, that it secretes progesterone, and which is important for maintaining pregnancy. So it maintains the corpus luteum beyond the normal life, and now this is called as corpus luteum of pregnancy. So it continues to secrete progesterone. What? Progesterone, which prevent, what is the function of now progesterone here? That it maintains pregnancy by preventing menstruation. It prevents menstruation. uh, you can say there is a temporary cessation of uh, menstruation, and it also maintains the uterine lining in nutrient rich state. So this is also called as pregnancy hormone, because it maintains the pregnancy, prevent menstruation, maintains the uterine lining in nutrient rich state. And the next is gastrulation. Yesterday we have seen about the morulation and then blastulation. Today it's gastrulation. So what is gastrulation? So it is a process of embryonic development which is characterized by movement of cells in small masses or sheets to form germinal layers. It is very much important to form germinal layers. So it is gastrulation process is responsible for the formation of germinal layer. and uh, this also leads to morphogenetic movement morphogenetic movements. So which leads to morphogenesis, as you know, that it is just transformation of the structure, and the product of gastrulation is called as gastrula. So how this process of morphogenesis occur, and how the embryonic layer is formed. So what is the result of this gastrulation is the gastrula. So we can see in following head, like first is the formation of germinal layers. It is very much important how the germinal layers are being formed. So in last section we have seen about the trophoblast and inner cell mass. So inner cell mass it possesses stem cells. This inner cell mass possesses stem cells, and that have the potency to form all types of tissue and organs. Potency to form all types of tissues and organs. So what happened? Normally they get rearranged to form embryonic disc, and then this differentiate into two layers, and that is called as epiblast and hypoblast. This embryonic these inner cell mass get rearranged to form embryonic disc, and this layer differentiate into epiblast and hypoblast, and epiblast form both ectoderm and mesoderm of the embryo while ectoderm and mesoderm of the embryo, and then there is another layer known as endoderm, embryonic endoderm, which is given by hypoblast. So ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, there are three types of germinal layers which will differentiate into different organs, like ectoderm, it form epidermis of skin, hair, nails, lining of buccal cavity, uh, retinal lens, cornea, conjunctiva of eye, central nervous system, etc. Mesoderm, it form connective tissue, ligaments, tendons, cartilage, bones, vagina, uh, human male reproductive organs, female reproductive organs, urinary bladder, sex organs, etc. And the last one is the endoderm, which form digestive tracts and eustachian tube, middle ears, urinary bladder, and some parts of vagina, thyroid, etc. So these together makes a complete organ system, a complete organism, that is ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. So in this regard, first, as we have seen about the formation of germinal layers, and the second process is called as formation of fetal membrane. Formation of fetal membrane. So formation of fetal membrane. Fetal membranes are the membranous covering and sacs which is connected to the embryo. Membranous covering which is connected to the embryo. So first is known as chorion, chorion, chorion. So it is the outermost fetal membrane, outermost fetal membrane, and this is formed by the trophoblast. What is the function of this? It forms the fetal part of placenta, fetal part of placenta. It provides attachment to fetus, attachment to fetus, and there are other function like exchange of nutrients also. So second layer is called as amnion. It is the inner membrane of fetal membrane, inner membrane, and it lies around the embryo. It has fluid which is called as amniotic fluid, and the cavity is called as amniotic cavity. So fetal cells float in this fluid. Fetal cells float in this fluid. So what is the function of this? It protects the fetus from injury, protect from injury, act as a shock absorber, and it also important for growth and movement, growth and movement of fetus. And there is another significance of this amniotic fluid, that amniotic fluid can be taken out with the help of needle, and which can be examined for any genetical defect. So this process is called as amniocentesis, uh, which was abused, like which had been used for the purpose of detection of sex of the baby. So that's why it is banned now. So it was meant for the detection of any genetic disorder, and this can be detected by just taking some amniotic fluid by the injection, by the needle actually. So next is uh, yolk sac and allantois. And allantois is a small sac like structure, and the next is yolk sac, which is not present in human. Actually it is present in egg laying animals, so here I am not going to describe this. One more thing is important, that is embryo and fetus. Actually we used as interchangeably, but there is difference. The term embryo is restricted to the stage before before start of organogenesis. Organogenesis means until and unless the organs is not going to formed, so before this stage this is called as an embryo. And after this, or you can say up to 8 week, this is called as embryo. And the term fetus is used thereafter, or you can say more than 8 week, this is called as fetus. And up to birth of the baby, this can be called as uh, fetus up to birth of a baby. So this is very much important, what is the meaning of embryo and fetus. That is before start of organogenesis up to 8 week it is called as an embryo, and after the process of organogenesis, forwarding towards 8 week, it is called as fetus, which is up to the birth of a baby. So this is all about the gastrulation. Once again you can see that pregnancy and embryonic development, and then you have to remember this, that trophoblast covering help in secretion of hCG, and inner cell mass, it has stem cells which has potency to form the all types of tissues and organs. So hCG, this is the function of hCG, how the corpus luteum maintains the pregnancy by secreting progesterone, then gastrulation and formation of germinal layers, then formation of fetal membrane, chorion, then amnion, then embryo and fetus. So this is all about the embryogenesis.